Welcome to the Journey Travel Podcast. My name is Michael.
And I'm Robert.
And today we're going to be talking about what to expect in Lima, or what to do in Lima.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we have travelers that get to the Lima airport and they don't really spend much time in the city. What they do is they take their connecting flight straight to Cusco to do the entire Machu Picchu thing. But Lima has a lot to offer. We have a lot of activities and fun destinations that a lot of travelers don't take advantage of.
Yeah, exactly. Lima is a little bit of a hot spot for tourists, right? As you may or may not know, it's basically the connecting hub for the country. So people from around the world come in to Lima and then they go to the different places, whether it be the Amazon, they go to Cusco, check out Machu Picchu, or if they even want to go to check out the sand dunes in Ica. It's basically a starting point for everybody.
Right, so the Lima weather, or the weather in Lima, is very temperate. During the summer, it'll be 70s to 80s, and on some years, it might hit low 90s.
90s, right? Yeah.
Right. For example, last summer, an El Nino year, got to 90s pretty often. But this summer has not been so warm. We've had maybe mid to low 80s.
I actually think it's been like low 80s and mostly like high 70s, I think. Hasn't really been that hot. But the thing is, here in Peru, there's a lot of, sun radiation, right? So,
Right, sun radiation is pretty high here.
So you got to be sure to have your sunblock on hand, right? Now that's for summer. For winter, it's a little bit different. Winter is basically a non-winter, really. It gets mostly around to the 50s or 60s. So it's never really that cold. I mean, you'll need a sweater, maybe you'll need a jacket. But for example, last year, winter was not cold at all. People were just walking around with shirts, t-shirts, I mean. Some people even wearing shorts. And a lot of tourists coming from warmer destinations didn't really have to wear anything. I mean, they just wear shorts and BVDs, things like that. Right? So mostly it's around 50s and 60s. So there'll definitely never be any snow here in Lima. But the temperature is fairly temperate, so you can basically wear whatever you want and you'll feel fairly comfortable.
Right. We usually recommend, when we do have visitors coming to Peru and our planning is spending time in Lima, we recommend that to do the Lima portion after you've done your Cusco, Machu Picchu, Inca Trail, Salcantay Trek portion. Usually, it can be very taxing to be in high altitude, and if you're hiking to Machu Picchu, you're taking the Inca Trail. After all that, you're going to want some time to rest, and Lima is just a great place to come back, rest, and visit some cool places.
Yeah, and as it is a metropolitan city, there's a large variety of hotels and different kinds of accommodations you can acquire for the area, right? Usually we suggest all our clients stay in Miraflores. Why? Because Miraflores is the nicest part of the city, and it's also the safest area. And as I was saying before, the hotels around the area are much nicer, right? So you can go stay somewhere 3-star, 4-star, even 5-star if you want some luxury. But there's also cheaper areas, right? So you can go even if you're a backpacker or something, right? You could go to a hostel. So there should be no problems with that, right? Now, a lot of the people who actually come here and stay, first day they want to relax, right? But after that, they want to take in some of the sights and sounds of the city. So something very popular is usually the Lima City tours, right? These tours usually range from around 4 hours to full day tours. And it takes you all around the city to the center of Lima, where you see colonial style buildings, museums, even gold museums and things, right? Things from the Incas. That's one of the aspects you could check out of the city.
Right. If you were a foodie, for example, Peru right now is one of the gourmet cuisine destinations in the world. It's one of the best places to come visit if what you want is food. And Lima boasts 2 of the top restaurants in the world, which are Maido, which is Peruvian and Japanese fusion cuisine, and
it's really good.
The restaurant called Central, which is Peru fusion, and they're both delicious. If you let us know, for example, with enough anticipation, then we might be able to get reservations for clients, which we do sometimes.
Absolutely. Of course, these are, as they are the most popular restaurants, they're also a little bit on the high end, right? But obviously, there are all kinds of restaurants, even small family-owned restaurants, more expensive restaurants. But they have all ranges of food here in Peru, right? So you could have a classic Creole Peruvian food. You could find, as Michael was mentioning, Japanese fusion food, Indian food, all kinds of things, really.
Yeah, there's pretty much something for everybody, and it's delicious because it almost always is based on local cuisine. It's some kind of fusion, even in the most expensive places. Um, but it's all based on Peruvian food and the ingredients that you would find here.
Exactly, and for example, a dish as simple as Peruvian ceviche. Peruvian ceviche is basically fish that is cooked just in lime juice. But depending on the restaurant you go, you'll see a variety of prices, a variety of different ingredients, and 100 different ways to actually make it. But that's just one example of one dish, right? Once you're actually here, you'll have the chance to check out all of these restaurants, all of these places.
Right, and like Robert mentioned, Miraflores is definitely one of the better places since you're so close to everything. You know, hotels, restaurants, and like he mentioned, from here we can go to Ica, for example, and see the sand dunes. Or
you can go sandboarding in the sand dunes.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cheap actually. Once you're actually there, depending on which company you work with there, it could be you can find something around $20 or $30. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, you're on the sand dunes the whole time. It's not as hot as you would think. I mean, it's very windy, so you don't really feel the heat as much. And the really nice part about the area is there's an oasis right in the center. I believe it was called. What was it called? Remember?
It's
Huacachina?
called Huacachina.
Huacachina, right?
Right. And now remember, this is Ica, and this is about 3 to 4 hours outside of Lima.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Driving, of course. But yeah, a lot of fun activities there too. Or we can go visit the Nazca Lines from Lima. It's also about 4 to 6 hours away.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually very close to that portion of Ica. It's around 45 minutes away. So you can actually check out all those places in the same day, if you really have enough time, obviously, right? The flight over Nazca, you usually have to see about it a few days in advance just to make sure there's actually spots, right? But yeah, you could always reserve that, and you could have your flight over the Nazca Lines, which is about an hour or so. Take all the pictures you want, with a guide included as well, I believe. Other than that, you can also check out the wildlife in the area. You could go to Ballestas Islands. Mm-hmm. Ballestas Islands has a huge colony of sea lions, right? Mm-hmm. There's even like, what's it called? A geoglyph on one of the mountains. It's called
the Candelaria, which is like a big candlestick, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically engraved in the sand.
Forever.
But it's interesting to see, and just like the Nazca Lines, there's just as much mystery there as the Nazca Lines. But these are just some of the activities in Lima. We have great weather, depending on the month, but in general, you'll have great weather, good places to visit, plenty of museums. If you're into going to nightclubs or bars, or you want to try the Pisco Sour in Lima, mm-hmm. then, by the way, Pisco Sour is Peruvian.
Well, Pisco is Peruvian, right?
Uh-huh.
And you could check out a bunch of different places. They also have macerados, which is where they mix Pisco with 1,000 different things.
By the way, Pisco is named after a town called Pisco.
Yeah,
which
is in Peru.
Which is in Peru, and it's very close to Ica. It's actually right before Ica. So, so Pisco Sours are from here. So if you wanted to try the traditional Pisco Sour from where it actually comes from
its origin,
and Lima is the perfect place. And by the way, it's a delicious drink.
Mm-hmm. In Peru.
In Peru. So, well, this has been what you can expect in Lima, what to do in Lima. Of course, there are plenty more activities, and you guys can write to us at info@journeymachuPicchu.com if you have any inquiries on Lima or anything other than Lima, you want to visit Machu Picchu or anything.
Absolutely. You could also just you can go to our webpage, which is journeymachupichu.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're listening to a podcast. Check us out on Instagram as Journey Machu Picchu separately, and even check us out on Google Plus. Other than that, that's been pretty much everything from me, Robert, and also Michael. So thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day. Happy travels.